Bitcoin. Welcome to the live chat, everybody. It's your buddy, the Crypto Lark here. Today we're going to be talking about all fun things related to crypto. Now we're going to be doing some market roundups, looking at some of the top movers. A lot of coins are hitting new all-time highs at the moment. We're also going to be looking at some news, some things going on, some different ICOs as well. Just a quick shout out as well that we are doing this twice a week. Welcome to everybody in the chat, by the way. We're doing this twice a week, Monday at 4 o'clock, Friday at 12 noon, all local New Zealand standard times. Also, quick note, we're going to be doing some fun interviews coming up this week, assuming that everybody shows up to the interviews. Hopefully I'll be getting David Martin on from Power Ledger tonight. We have rescheduled that from last week, so hopefully we'll be able to make that happen tonight. Going to be meeting with the guys from Aventus as well later in the week, and hopefully we're going to be able to get Colin Cantrell on from Nexus. Very exciting project. Smash up that like button, guys, if you're just joining into the show. Welcome, 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 everybody. Now, a quick note to everyone here in Wellington. There is going to be a blockchain meetup Wednesday night at 5:30. Come over here to meetup.com, Blockchain Wellington. It's also going to be hosted by the SONM project, so go ahead and check that out. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to the live stream. Nice to see everyone here as always. And if you're up in Auckland, tonight is the night for you. There is a SONM blockchain meetup in Auckland tonight. These are the first SONM meetups happening in New Zealand. I'm going to the one on Wednesday night here in Wellington, so you can come along and find me there and say hello, or you can just come along and learn all about the fun and exciting stuff going on over at SONM. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm happy to see that happening here. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. So, the markets have been crazy. To see Bitcoin up 20% in a week is mind-blowing. This is crazy. It really is. You know, Bitcoin has hit new all-time highs this week. Ethereum's hit new all-time highs this week. A lot of coins, in fact, have. IOTA, new all-time high dollar value, of course. If you come back over here and have a little look-see look, though, we did see it back at 22,700 Satoshi, and it is currently under that value. So that is something to keep in mind. So, Daniel Reddy asks, how will a future with net neutrality relate with Nexus? Nexus, of course, one of the things they're trying to do, putting satellites into space and creating the next internet, decentralized in space. So, yeah. If the net neutrality laws, it's such a weird way to say it, if the anti-net neutrality laws get passed, yeah, projects like Nexus, Substratum are just going to be absolutely huge. Wait for next year. Bitcoin will make you pull your hair out. It will be huge. It absolutely will be. But one thing I did want to mention, IOTA's $2 now. Holy cow. One thing I do want to mention is that sometimes with your altcoin investments, it's really tricky because sometimes it really may simply be the fact that you're not going to get your Bitcoin value back on those investments because Bitcoin is outpacing a lot of the different coins in the market. So, you know, that is something you got to kind of make your own peace with. Right now, if you had bought IOTA back at the peak for 22,000 or 24,000 Satoshi, you are still looking a ways off to getting that back. You got to see about a $4 IOTA before you're winning on your Satoshi value. So something to keep in mind. I try not to worry too much about the Bitcoin value. I like to invest in a lot of these altcoin projects because they're super exciting projects, because I really like the projects. IOTA, awesome project. So, you know, Cardano as well has seen a stellar week. Up 300% this week, although a bit down on the hour, but that doesn't matter so much. Oh, I'm just praying for a big retraction on Cardano. Please, Cardano. Please, Cardano, go down. Brinks Mining, did you happen to see it? The US is cracking down on crypto holders. I'm curious how that will affect the market if it gets passed. First they ignore you, then they laugh, then they fight, then you win. Says Brinks Mining. I have seen, I haven't maybe kept up with all of it, but I did see that the IRS is, you know, starting to hit up Coinbase, being like, yo, what do you got over here? Can we see, you know, who your users are and how much they've been spending? And it's going to be happening more and more and more and more and more, guys, as it goes into the future. Decentralized exchanges. Decentralized exchanges. Now, look, I just did a review today on Request Network, and they're awesome. They really, really are. They're going to let, you know, businesses be able to pay the tax straight away. Boom. Everything verified on the blockchain, etc., etc. Some people in the crypto space would prefer to avoid paying taxes. And look, I get that. I understand that. It's very tempting not to pay your taxes. Certainly a lot of the elites around the world don't pay their taxes, which, you know, usually to the detriment of the various societies that they benefit from having other people pay their taxes in. You know, the ultra rich get you know, free roads and free electric networks and free hospitals and all this fun stuff, but then they don't want to pay their taxes. That's a whole other story, guys. A whole other story for another day. The reality is that businesses will want easier ways to pay their taxes to be compliant, and companies like Request Network will offer that moving forward. For individuals, Monero. Any privacy coin, actually. Hi Lark, which exchange do you use to buy New Zealand dollars for Bitcoin and alts? Ask Brenton. Somebody else is asking about New Zealand dollar exchanges. I don't really do a lot of buying of Bitcoin in New Zealand dollars. I mostly mine these days, is how I get my Bitcoin. I do like using local Bitcoin though, I gotta say. It's super easy, no BS. You get on there, you buy or sell. I sell Bitcoin on there sometimes. Super easy, guys. So really, that's a good one to watch out for. Otherwise, you have the New Zealand Bitcoin Exchange. Takes a few days to get signed up, but they can take care of you as well. And I think CoinSpot in Australia accepts New Zealand dollars, so you should check them out as well. K Freeze asks, what decentralized exchange is there? Well, there are a few decentralized exchanges in the works right now that are already working. Places like BitShares suffers from functionality. It's not user-friendly enough. Other projects coming through as well. I know altcoin.io, they've been really pumping out their atomic wallet. The guys over at SuperNet are trying to get their atomic wallet rocking out. IDO doesn't have their wallet up yet, but they're working on it. So there's a lot coming into the space. Some really promising looking projects coming out. So Emma Hayes, just curious, why do you sell Bitcoin? To buy other coins or to take a profit? Asks Emma. Emma, I really don't like to sell Bitcoin, and sometimes I do sell a little bit of it. You know, it's more of a kind of a taking profit thing once in a while. You know, it's pay for a holiday or something like that. But yeah, I feel the opportunity cost every time I do. But there's, you know, there's Bitcoin that gets hodled, and it doesn't even exist in my mind. It really doesn't. It just goes into a fund and it just sits, and I don't even think about it. I would never even contemplate spending that. But then sometimes a little bit of the mining revenue, yeah, rock that out. I'll sell a little bit of it, you know, get some cash or, you know, do something like that with, but it hurts every time. I got to be honest with you. Is Bitcoin still viable to mine and make profit from if you have to pay the power bill? Asks John R. Yes and yes. Obviously, if you have super expensive power, like some of us here in New Zealand do compared to international rates, it's not as profitable, but it's still profitable. Absolutely. Emma, yeah, I'm holding a small amount of Bitcoin with a plan to pay bills here and there. It happens. Bitcoin to 40,000 next year, says Mike Novogratz. Yeah, there are a lot of predictions about how high Bitcoin can go. I think I mean, we've thrown out predictions on this channel before. I asked you guys, hey, where do you see Bitcoin by the end of the year? I think only one person out of, you know, all the people who, you know, responded and said, hey, I think Bitcoin's going to be this or that or any other number. Only one person was bullish enough to say where it might be now. I was super conservative, but I always do this. I'm always way more conservative than I should be, really, when it comes down to this. So other coins with proof of work, Decred, SIA, yep. That's the thing too. There's a lot of other mining potential out there as well. You know, it's not just the Bitcoin game, although Bitcoin is stupidly profitable right now to mine. So brings mining. I know we were all hoping for this 10-cent plus Cardano, but can we all get on the same page? It needs to drop a bit so we can all buy some more. Amen. Everybody just stop buying Cardano for a few days, let it come back down. No, the demand's super high because it's an amazing project. You know, I'm really hoping for a decent dip at some point in the future. But wow, it's definitely a project. When I look at Cardano, I look at it and think this is going to be a 30, 40, 50 billion dollar market cap in no time. Really, this is going to be Ethereum level kind of stuff right here. And I know it's really early days right now with Cardano, which is why I'm still hoping we can get a few decent dips in here and, you know, see that happen. But wow, moving forward, we got some really great potential. Hetman says, Charlie Lee mentioned Litecoin at 1,500. Da-da-da-da. Hydronet Incorporated asks, is it worth it to pay Genesis Mining? I've done really well out of cloud mining. You know, definitely Hashflare has been paying really well. Genesis Mining's been paying really well. So they're both really good. Munted One says, well, Nexus came back down. Hopefully Cardano can do the same. Gosh, I hope so. I really hope so. You know, but the overall trajectory is Cardano's moving forward. And if you get lucky and get in to find a few dips, get in there and buy some more up. But it's definitely going up. I'm telling you, this time next year, we're going to look back and go, wow, we were able to buy Cardano for 12 cents and we didn't do it. Oh my God. Or, you know, thank God we got in on the dips or got in at the start with Cardano. Chris Glennon says Cardano has a huge coin supply. Yes, it does. And I hear this a lot, and I think people get distracted or somehow maybe misunderstand the whole concept of the huge coin supply. And I think the important thing you need to be looking at is this, the overall market cap, because that's what's really important here. It doesn't matter if the coin supply is 450 billion. The gains are the gains. The thing is that we have a 45 billion supply. If Cardano is going to do what it wants to do, yeah, they're going to need a lot of coins in circulation. I don't worry about this at all. So when I hear but it's got so many coins, nobody complains about that with Ripple, you know? And this is the thing, is it's not an inflationary model. It's got a max supply of 45 billion. If it was an inflationary model, I would be concerned. But it isn't. It's capped. So how much Bitcoin can you get with Genesis Mining? It depends on how much you invest. And of course, you do have to account for difficulty over time. Kane from Hawaii. Aloha. Aloha, Kane. I sold some ADA at 396 Satoshi and it kept mooning. Whoa, that was a while ago. We're up to 1,140 Satoshi at the moment. Thoughts on Wave's decentralized exchange? I like it. I wish they had more coins available. Now, EOS is another coin that's seen some really crazy growth, and it's just wild. When EOS first came out, people were buying it for, you know, like $5-6. It was crazy. And now we're way, way back down. And we actually saw this period here where you were able to pick up EOS for around 50 cents or so, and we were talking about it then, and I was lucky to be able to pick a few up, and I just hope that over the cycle of this insanely long ICO, we will see a future pullback on EOS. There are 516 million in circulating supply. That means there are another like 400 some million to be sold during the ICO. It's crazy. It is crazy. So I hope we can see a big retracement on EOS. Give anyone who hasn't got in a nice buy point. So Travis, big fan, watch you all the time. Thank you very much, Travis. Really appreciate it, man. Now, a few people have asked about SONM, so let's just have a little peek down here and see what our old buddy SONM's up to. Oh, 12 cents, not bad. Not bad. SONM's been, wow, market cap's up to 45 million. It's tough with, the Satoshi value and all that stuff rising so fast, but SONM's a fantastic project. It's one that I've had my eye on for a while, and, you guys put me onto it, as you do with so many coins, and it's absolutely been awesome. Now, I was able to pick some up around 7 cents. I still think it's a good value around 12 cents. In fact, I did buy a little more the other day. So if you look at how undervalued it is compared to, for example, Golem, right? And it actually does more than Golem. This is the thing, too. It's even going the next level, where Golem is about 265. So, I mean, even if it got to the same value as Golem, that'd be a 5x gain. That's not too bad at all. Lark, what about HDAC? Seems pretty interesting. That 1000% ICO bonus for the institutional investors is pretty brutal, though. Lark, give me some opinion. On what? On what? 10x is the best company. EOS is asking too much for their project and keeping the ICO open. Yeah. This is one thing you could definitely say against EOS. Do they really need that insane amount of money that they're raising? It's mind-blowing how much money EOS will have earned by the end of their 1 year. It will be the biggest. What do we got here? Vikrant says, cryptos are a scam. Full stop. Salt to $10, please. Redcoin was a scam. Interesting. I haven't heard anything about Redcoin in ages. I stopped. After I did one review on it, I was like, Redcoin, whatever. But I hope it wasn't a scam. I hope it was a scam. Probably just a failed crypto project. I don't know. I haven't really checked in on the old Redcoin in quite a long time. Let's see what old Redcoin's doing. Hey, see, look, it's not. It's still there. It's still there. It's really hard in the space, guys. When you could try to compete with some of these really dedicated teams, some of these old projects like Redcoin, having a really hard time competing with these new boys. They are really just well-funded, well-organized. You see some of these projects coming in, like SONM, like they got a killer dev team. They're really, really into it. Mr. Harry Balsonia, thanks for the reviews today. Well, you're welcome, Mr. Harry Balsonia. My pleasure as always. It's fun for me, guys. I love doing it. I really do. Ooh, Skycoin's up to 96. QuantStamp, amazing team. Loopring, amazing team. Gresslecoin's coming back. It's coming back, guys. Gresslecoin. Bancor, amazing team. Blocknet, great team. Ethos, great team. You have these big team. Dash, Dash was so smart in actually, pushing this, their funding, basically. They get $30-40 million a year to fund advertising and stuff like that. It's great. Crypto Jack, not Redcoin, but Red Pulse. You did do a video on that one, didn't you? I did do a video on Red Pulse. What's going on with Red Pulse these days? Let's see here. Red Pulse. Red Pulse is down number 210. So this is the thing, guys, and you guys know I'm always all about this. Some people are just so quick to call stuff scams on here too, and that is that's very problematic. It's if a project doesn't deliver on time, or if you don't get the returns that you wanted to get or any of that stuff, you know, it doesn't mean that anything's a scam. And you guys got to remember that. You guys got to remember that. When you hear people calling something a scam, hit the brakes for a second, come back and think, wait, why are they calling this a scam? What have they got to gain from this? Who are they? Why are they bashing the project? What are they criticizing about the project? I mean, look, Confido, for example, that was a scam. They took the money and they ran. They had no project, no team. It was all fake. Other projects may simply never be able to fulfill their promises, and that happens too, and that's just problematic when it comes down to it. Ripple dead or dying? No, Chuck, Ripple's not dead or dying. It is a long way away. Long way away. It's just a slow burner. This is the thing, is that Ripple is onboarding new banks all the time. So it's got a lot of potential moving forward, even though I don't invest and I don't really, I'm not excited about the Ripple project. But one that I do like a bit more is Stellar Lumens. Now that is some exciting stuff. Man, I just feel it's just crazy. I did this video review on it, and then like next day it just popped. It was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, so have you looked at No Limit Coin? I did, Jeff. I did a review on it a little while ago. You should go check it out. Okay. Now, this is an interesting one. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this viral cat game. Paying for my seat at the David Martin interview on Power Ledger. Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much, Plemyuk. Thank you very much. I hope I can nail him down tonight. It'd be great. That'd be great. Now, this is an interesting one, guys. The viral cat game. This is... The guys from this ICO actually emailed me. They said, hey, we got this ICO coming up. It's like, electronic cats on the blockchain. I'm like, get out of here. What are you talking about? What is this stuff? Who is this crazy guy in here abusing everybody? Yeah, I guess some moderation going on there. What, man? Let's get that rocking out here. Ooh. All right. We'll come back to that later. Okay. So, best project going forward outside of the top 200. Ooh, that's a tough one. That was a tough one. Let me just see here. There we go. I'll throw Plemyuk throwing you the wrench mail. Throw Crypto Brad one too. All right, rock and roll. Let's continue. Okay. Crypto Lark, have you considered giving a few wrenches to help moderate? Yeah, just trying to give a few out here real quick. Mr. I figure out how to do that. Anyway, we'll get back to that later, guys. We'll get back to that later. Be nice to each other. Be nice to each other. Figure out how to do the wrench thing a bit later. Anyway, these cat guys emailed me, and I just didn't see it, But then when I saw that someone bought like a digital cat today for $100,000, I thought, wait a second. This is like the Tamagotchi things. You guys remember? Maybe some of you guys remember those. These little like digital cat critter things that people had. So it's totally crazy, really. It's how this took off so much is crazy. Who's paying $100,000 for a digital cat, guys? Pfft. Seriously. The crypto space, you know, it just, here are all these great projects looking to revolutionize the world and change internet and do it. Cats. Digital cats. $100,000. Why not? Oh my God. Now this was an interesting article I found as well. This is Aruba looks to Ethereum to boost tourism. Now, this is actually about Winding Tree. Now, do you guys remember Winding Tree? Now this is one that they were going to have an ICO. They've postponed it. This is going to be a really interesting project when it comes up. I think their ICO is scheduled for February at the moment. And the article just talks a little bit about how actually the giant tourism providers basically, you know, screw out small people. And even looking at small countries get screwed. And that is crazy. How are they screwing small countries? Apparently they are. Apparently they are screwing small countries, so it's crazy. But again, blockchain technology can change that all. This can actually, you know, cut out the middlemen who basically sell what they want to sell. In chat, select set user as moderator. Let me see here. Aha. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Brinks Mining. I'll look that up real quick. Rock and roll. Okay. Now this was a little bit of Cardano news that you guys may not have caught. And this is, they set up a rocket.chat community so you can have, you know, chats in the Cardano now. And I think a lot of people got excited about that. And it's not actually very exciting. The more exciting news, although some people did get excited about that, was actually looking at some of the things that they're working on around Shelly. So this is, you know, pretty exciting moving forward. Looking at some of the stuff that they want to bring in. Quantum resistant signatures. Everybody likes that, of course. Human-friendly addresses. I like that idea as well. This is one of the things, obviously, that Bitcoin has kind of struggled with throughout time, is this, you know, these crazy addresses. It's kind of hard for some people to wrap their heads around. So if we could actually get more human-friendly addresses, that would actually be a big bonus for Cardano as well. So, you know, very, very cool. Very, very cool. Harry Ball, Sonia, Plemican, Brinks Mining. Feel love right back, guys. Feel love right back. Now, this was an interesting one as well that I did run across. China State TV. Over-the-counter Bitcoin platforms may violate the law. Now, the interesting thing here is that China comes out really strong-handed against exchanges and all this stuff. And so what happened? People just started peer-to-peer trading in the streets. Imagine that. Imagine that. People just meet up. Hey, you got some Bitcoin? Yeah, here's some money. Boom, sold the Bitcoin. And so then some dude decided, hey, I'm going to set up a little shop down the side street. You want to get some Bitcoin? You can all come down here and grab it. And that was actually kind of, it's this gray zone. They didn't actually think it was going to happen. But this just goes to show you, you can't stop it, guys. You just can't stop it. You can't stop people from exchanging things, and try as hard as these governments do, they can't stop it. It's absolutely crazy. You know, that people will continue to seek out freedom. People will continue to try to find ways to circumvent governments which are strangling them. And it's only a matter of time. I feel like the writing's on the wall for China. You know? It'll be interesting to see 10 years from now, 15 years from now, what actually has transpired in China. And, you know, looking back and thinking, you know, back in the day when China was still under the Great Firewall, and then all these projects came in that gave people freedom of information. What about the ISPs, Lark? Asks Hodlers Weekly. The ISPs are a problem, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, they are the ones who have been basically doing this. But if we have new internets set up, this is the thing. We have a lot of different projects right now working, unfortunately, apart from each other. It'd be really great to see a lot of these projects come together, like, you know, like Nexus and Substratum. They'd be great bed buddies. Come on, guys. They should get together and hang out, and they could do cool stuff together, you know? So that would be really, really cool to see that actually come together, because alone these projects are really great. Together these projects are even better. And that, you know, I get so excited seeing some of the partnerships that have going around, you know, like Request Network. Wow, they got some great partnerships, and that is some really good stuff out there. So Brian Payne, Lark, advice for a new crypto guy. I'm mining on Hashflare, but I want to find some ICOs to try out. Where do you do your research? Like, what do you look for? I'm on a limited budget, $50 to $75 a week. We're going to talk about ICOs in a few minutes here, so stick around. We're going to talk about ICOs before the show ends today, so stick around. We'll talk a little bit about, you know, what to look for in a good ICO. And somebody asked a little bit previously about Request Network. It's actually, I think, below ICO price right now, which is one of the crazy, crazy things about ICOs. We've seen a lot of ICOs come out recently, and they hit the markets, and you're able to pick them up for 30, 40, 50% less sometimes than they actually went for it during the ICO. I think I saw earlier, where's Kin at? I think I saw earlier that Kin, yeah, these guys had like $100 million ICO. Could you believe it? Now they're down like $54 million market cap. It definitely happens, and it's not even necessarily to say that the project was inherently bad or any of that stuff, but what products will wipe out eBay and PayPal? Whatever does that, buy that technology. Well, the real dirty skills. We already have projects which are really looking to do that. We have projects like CyberMiles, Syscoin, for example, if you want to talk about eBay competitors. We have lots of different payment processors. Request Network might be a really good one, actually, in that space, because they offer not just payments, but a whole batch of different things. Auditing and invoicing and all this kind of stuff. That's really cool. Metal, payment processor as well. There's so many different people competing in that space. One of them or a couple of them are going to absolutely come out on top. Venn has got a rebrand tomorrow. Interesting. Somebody did mention that a bit earlier. It'd be interesting to see. That's a VeChain, by the way, guys. That is the ticker code for VeChain is Venn. Jeff Moses, Raiden Network has been dropping despite the bullish market. Do you see it as a buy? I haven't done enough research into Raiden Network, but it'll be interesting to see how it fares. It's kind of a, you know, an add-on to Ethereum, so you'd think it would do well potentially, but I don't know. I've got to do a proper review on it to let you know exactly how this is going to go. Now this Dutch article here from a Dutch newspaper. I'm going to practice my Dutch real quick. Of waarom je me nu zo moeten verkopen. Okay, I don't really speak Dutch, so let's translate that real quick. Bitcoin undermines the government, is what it said, because a lot of transactions are about money laundering and tax avoidance. Obviously, the tax avoidance thing will be less and less probably of a problem in the future for governments as exchanges and different people like that become compliant, and, you know, actually digital money could work really well for that. The only problem is, you know, this might sound like a crazy thing. I don't mind paying taxes, especially here in New Zealand. I actually feel like my taxes go towards something useful. I think a lot of people have problems paying taxes. For example, like in Russia, a lot of people try to avoid paying taxes. Why? Because they know that when they pay taxes, it goes to massive corruption, massive bribery. Politicians steal all the money. People don't like paying taxes in America because your money goes to, you know, killing people overseas and to corrupt politicians and all that stuff. Here I can actually see, well, okay, you know, my government's pretty transparent with most things. Yeah, there's still still areas of criticism, without a doubt. No government is perfect by any means. But to say that Bitcoin undermines government actually really shows that central banks are starting to become terrified of this stuff of blockchain, of digital currency, particularly of Bitcoin. It's amazing that Bitcoin is, you know, keeping central bankers up at night going, God, what are we going to do about this? We're not going to control the money supply anymore. My partner's dad was asking, well, you know, he's Russian. He's saying, well, you know, I trust my government and I like the ruble. And I'm just like, well, okay, Vladimir, that's cool. But like, you know, the ruble's been getting destroyed recently, whereas because it's an inflationary currency, it keeps expanding. They just keep printing more money and saying that, hey, this has value, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And he's saying, well, okay, well, what makes Bitcoin worth something? Because people give value to it, not to mention the fact that it's deflationary. That is to say that over time there will be less Bitcoin, right? So instead of more and more coming out all the time, there's less and less coming out all the time, which of course, you know, increased demand and price and speculation, all that stuff. Yeah, okay, that's rocking and rolling, but it's really tricky, you know, and people kind of don't understand that. They trust their governments, and too many people trust their governments, and, you know, you should always question what your government's doing. And of course, they say the biggest danger is that, of course, ICOs, and yes, ICOs are a danger. I can agree with them to an extent on that. ICOs are potentially dangerous for investors. Your voice is crying out for a voiceover role in a Pixar movie. Thank you. Have you guys seen my next coin? 280% up in the last 7 days. You know, I haven't had a chance to check that one out, but it's amazing. You see these different coins pop up and you go, what's going on here? Where did this stuff come from? Now, of course, one thing I did want to talk about too is addressing the Bitcoin is a bubble. Now, you hear this a lot, and, you know, this is what Alex's dad was saying. He was saying, well, you know, Bitcoin's a bubble and it's all going to go to zero tomorrow, and that's not going to happen. I'm telling you, if there was a serious Bitcoin dip, and this is why, you know, the Dragon Slayer theory I thought was total BS, because yeah, okay, Chinese whales try and push the price of Bitcoin down, everyone's going to be buying. PIVX says, oh wait, Mr. Harry Ballsing says, such a tired story with the bubble metaphor. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. And this is the thing, is that I like this statistic they give here. Even if it is a bubble, and even if we're going to try to compare it to the .com bubble, the .com bubble reached 2.9 trillion before collapsing in 2000, when most people still didn't even have computers. So it's absolutely crazy. Oh, there we go. But got it. Okay. And so to think that we're even close to bubble territory, it's just garbage. You know, this is the thing. And actually, I found an article in Forbes today, which I like a lot more. Bitcoin is a platypus. Yes, you heard right. Bitcoin is a platypus. This is the best analogy I've heard, I think, of Bitcoin yet. I love it. I really do. Of course, I love platypuses. They are like some of the cutest animals in the world, while at the same time being some of the weirdest animals in the world. Venomous, lays eggs, has a funny duck-billed nose, beaver tail, otter foot, and it secretes its milk out of its skin. It doesn't even have, like, you know, proper nipple things. Jason Jarrett, native to your country. Nay, my friend, we do not have any platypuses here in New Zealand, although I wish we did. They're such cute little guys. But no, that's over in Australia. They've got the platypi over there. Now, why is Bitcoin a platypus? Well, people don't understand it. Back when scientists went back to England and said, hey, there's this creature in Australia that's got all these crazy features, nobody believed them. They said, nah, that can't exist. That's too crazy. Could never work. Could never exist in real life. But there it is. And I think to a large extent, this is what we're seeing right now with Bitcoin. A lot of people simply don't understand it. They simply can't believe that it could exist. They're just totally disconnected with it. They see Bitcoin, they say, well, I don't understand that, it's a scam. Somebody intelligent sounding on TV told me that's a scam. And the bankers themselves don't understand it. Some of them do, and some of them are maliciously trying to manipulate people. I'm sure that Jamie Dimon understands Bitcoin, and I'm sure he bought the dip. Jamie. But some of them really don't. You hear some of these people on these TV shows, and they're old, and they're sitting there talking, and I instantly felt bad. Misclicked hourglass. Oh no! Apparently that times them out. Man, I want to do that. Crypto Rose says, "Listen to the bankers if you want to stay poor." Amen. Ooh, I like that. Everyone's reaction to Bitcoin depends on how deeply indoctrinated into the existing system they are. Yep. Amen. Amen. That makes it so much harder. It makes it so much harder to move, you know, people forward. Actually, is to think, well, what kind of investment do you have in the existing system? And you see a lot of these different companies, banks in particular, of course they're terrified of Bitcoin. It's going to take away their business. And look, Bitcoin futures, people have been asking, wow, what happened to Menojle? Bitcoin futures have been, you know, a hot topic recently, and actually another exchange, where do we got here? Another exchange is actually bringing it in too. The article here somewhere. We've got another exchange bringing in Bitcoin futures. So how much is that going to affect Bitcoin? Time's going to have to tell, to be honest. And I know that a lot of people are worried about it. I worry that 25% of the existing Bitcoin is already out of circulation if you count Satoshi's Bitcoin. If, of course, Satoshi is not Elon Musk and he's simply saving those 1 million Bitcoin to fund his Mars colony, that's possible. But if we assume that so many are going out of circulation, and then what happens? Wall Street starts buying them up, and that's where I would really be worried about, guys. I mean, yeah, the futures markets can potentially lead to price manipulation, yes. But I would worry more about the banks basically buying and hodling everything, just like they do with diamonds. You know, those guys hold on to all the diamonds and what? Push the price up. So price manipulation is going to happen, unfortunately. The best thing we can always do, of course, is get it and hold it. Quite simply. Now, this is a fun article, and I know you guys have probably heard this story before, but it actually got me thinking. Man accidentally threw away $108 million worth of Bitcoin into the trash, threw out an old laptop that had a bunch of Bitcoin sitting on it. This, of course, adds to that 25% of Bitcoin is gone, but it got me thinking, too. I always thought in the future that we're actually going to be mining dumps, rubbish tips. We're going to go in there and mine them because they're full of glass and full of plastic and full of metals. I'm surprised that, considering it's worth $108 million, that there are not people out there digging through this rubbish tip 24/7 looking for this laptop. Electronium for the long run. It's hard to get your head around just how few Bitcoin there are. Amen. Amen. And that's why it's so important. Guys, you're here at the start. I know that Bitcoin is worth, what, $11,500 today? Do whatever you can to get yourself one. Just one Bitcoin. That's all you need. Just hold it, and that's it. Get it, and hold it. That's all you gotta do. I mined Bitcoin on an Aspire laptop in 2010. Forgot about it. No! I hope that means you forgot about it, then found your laptop and are like, I'm rich, yes. Oh, man. But that happened to a lot of people because no one cared about Bitcoin back in the day. This is the thing. Something like 0.003 Bitcoin for every person on Earth if it were equally distributed. Of course, you have to probably dial that back a little bit because we've lost 25% of them. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Okay. Moving on. I want to give you guys a quick rundown of some upcoming ICOs to keep an eye on. Now, one that I really like is INS. This is coming up pretty soon. I think 7 hours to go, according to this. Groceries on the blockchain, looking to shake up and overthrow basically supermarkets. Mr. Harry Balsani, that's why 1 Bitcoin will be a golden ticket in 10 years. Amen. Amen. Seriously, if you can just get just one Bitcoin, guys, that's all you need, and just never spend it until like 20 years from now or something. Keep it as your retirement. Then spend half of it. INS is a really good one to look at. It's definitely one that caught my eye. You know, it's one that I'm going to be throwing a little bit into. I like it. I like what they're doing. The bonuses are pretty big, though, so that is something to keep your mind on as a potential worry about it, that they are doing 38% bonus for first day investors, so it does create that sell pressure on the other side. Universa is one which has got very little press around the internet. It's kind of been flying under the radar, but they are making a fully customizable blockchain, 20,000 transactions per second. It's pretty good. Twice the speed of Neo at the moment. We'll have to see, of course, how that compares with Cardano and EOS, which are looking for network effects. But Universe is a really interesting one. They've actually only sold about $20 million worth of their tokens. So that leaves pretty good potential moving forward, actually. So, you know, with 4 days to go, I can't see them selling, 20, 30 million in 4 days, because most of an ICO's sales actually happen on their first day, or in the first 48 hours, let's say. And after that, sales die right off. I first started looking at Universe like 10 days ago or so, and, they were only like 17 million or something. So it's been pretty slow, but that's one to keep an eye on. Now, another one that a lot of people are getting excited about is Spective. And again, this is not an official endorsement or anything in any of these projects. Just ones for you guys to think about. Spective is, of course, trying to do similar things to what BAT is trying to do, looking for your attention for ad space, basically, on the internet. Except they're going to be working with a lot of VR and stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting sounding project. Now, this is one that I really like as well. I just did a review on these guys. I think it's a really cool idea. Decentralized credit scoring. Really letting people who are not able to get credit scores get credit scores. It's a market of 3 billion people globally. Pretty interesting stuff, actually. So this is another one to, check out. These are ones just to look into, guys. Props is coming up. This one is a pretty highly anticipated one. I was actually researching Gifto today as well, and there's this whole crazy universe out there of people watching Chinese girls singing songs and stuff, and just throwing money at them on the internet. I'm not talking about any dirty stuff or anything here, guys. Just there are these video platforms like Props, like Gifto, which are incredibly successful already, and they're actually taking it and moving it to the blockchain. So it's pretty interesting. Props is one you should, again, have a little look into if you're looking for something. Debitum coming up as well. This is one massively flying under the radar, but they're looking to do basically financing for small and medium-sized businesses in the developing world. So pretty interesting stuff there. LiveTree, I think currently going. No, it's still coming up, actually, I think. Oh no, token sale is open. So this one, trying to change up the entertainment industry. Now again, we've got a lot of players that have been entering that kind of space as far as publishing and stuff. Descent is already out, actually, and they're already kind of doing what LiveTree want to do, but plenty of space for competition in there. Experty, Uber for knowledge sharing. This is a pretty interesting one as well. Obviously, knowledge sharing, pretty important stuff. Everyone likes knowledge. Knowledge! And Singularity Net, this is coming out in quite a while, but this is definitely one to, you know, put on the radar as well. You know, just kind of the ICO roundup for you guys here. Mark M asks, how can I buy into these ICOs, Lark? Well, a lot of them exclude Americans, so that's something you got to keep in mind. Some of them don't. Some of them are open to everybody. I think INS is open to everybody. I can't remember exactly, though. I think it's open to everybody. But you have to actually just go and check out every different ICO. Some of them have slightly different processes, so you actually just need to go check out the ICO in particular. Some of them will have you deposit money to an account and then exchange that for tokens, which you can withdraw later. Some of them will have you send money to an Ethereum contract address and it'll immediately deposit it into your MyEther wallet. So some of them operate differently. You have to really check the individual projects, guys. Lark, have you heard about CanyaCoin? They're having the ICO. You know, I've heard only a little bit about it. I was talking to Alex from Nugget News and he said, you know, basically that this is a really interesting one. He was looking into it, but I haven't had a look into it yet. Tiny Crypto Blog. James Armstrong use a VPN for the Americans excluded ICOs. Tiny Crypto Blog, that doesn't always work actually. If they have any kind of KYC process, which a lot of them do, is they're going to check your ID, basically. You can't invest in them. You're actually excluded on that sort of level where they want to see your passport or your driver's license, and if you have a foreign passport or driver's license, even if you are an American, you probably still sneak through the door. But yeah, it's problematic. BS44, good advice for any crypto noob should really be not to invest in ICOs. Yep, this is the thing. If you're brand new and you're looking around the space, and actually BS44, I think one of the really good things actually is to any person who's new, it's not to necessarily not invest in an ICO, it's to take your bloody time and do your homework, guys. This is the thing, this is the mistake that so many people make when they jump into the space. And, you know, for anybody kind of new to the party who's listening, you see all these gains happening. Ooh, 99% on Grosselcoin, that's very exciting. I should buy it right now, right? It's gonna keep going. VeChain, 83%, oh my gosh, you jump in and buy it now, right? I see all this green. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh, 286%. My next coin, I'm going to jump in and buy it. I want you guys to realize, if you're new to the party, crypto does this. You have to do your damn research, guys. Really, don't let anyone else tell you what to buy, when to buy it. You got to do your own research. You got to take a bit of time to understand some projects. You don't have to understand all 1,000 coins here on the coin market cap. Find a few that you like. Find some overviews. Take your time. If you rush into things in the crypto space, you're probably going to lose money. The only thing that I would say, if you know absolutely nothing about crypto, buy Bitcoin and forget about it. If that's all you want to do, just buy Bitcoin and forget about it. If you want to play around in the space, you actually have to understand the projects that you're investing in. You have to actually understand the cycles of the projects you're investing in. You know, if you go and buy IOTA today for $2, for example, you might be holding that bag for quite a while. You know, and I love IOTA and it's a great project, but I'm really hoping we'll see another pullback, you know, for people who want to get invested in that. Cardano, amazing project. Let's hope for a pullback. Pullbacks happen. You guys have to be patient. You know, I've got a few different coins that I'm hoping for pullbacks on. I'm sitting here patiently waiting, and you know, if it gets there, it gets there. And if it doesn't, well, for example, Cardano. I would love to see another pullback on Cardano. I've already got some. That's cool. So I don't feel this pressure, but I've done my research. I've taken my time. And that is really, really important, guys. You have to be patient, 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 patient. These gains happen all the time in crypto space. This is what we do. 20%, 50%, that's normal. Normal, guys. It just happens in crypto. But those 20, 50, 40, 90% gains can just as quickly turn into losses. So take your time, guys. Brinks Mining, I'd love to see a 500 Satoshi Cardano. Me too. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. If we believe it can happen, it can happen. Guys, if you see Cardano back at like 500 Satoshis, back that truck up. Seriously. Not professional financial advice, of course. Stealth coin is low. 2,000% again soon. Interesting. CryptoLark, what do you think about NEM's recent rise to 28 cents? Tried looking for recent news, but didn't find anything. Well, let's talk about NEM a little bit before we finish up for today. Look, NEM, I'm super excited to see it back at 28 cents. And, you know, it's been at 8,000 Satoshis in the past few months, which would, based on current Bitcoin prices, would put it at like $1.20. Now, obviously, it's not there, and we're not talking about Satoshis, and that's the past. But NEM is seriously one of the busiest blockchain projects. It's ridiculous, guys. Seriously, we see, I think right now, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think right now NEM is the second most used blockchain for ICOs. Something like 15 ICOs or something out on NEM at the moment. You know, Ethereum Classics only had a few small projects. Komodo failed, and so on and so forth. So, not to mention the fact they're constantly signing new partnerships, constantly working on development, and their team gets some serious flying miles in, guys. They're around all the time doing stuff. So, you know, NEM's an amazing project, and definitely one that, you know, I'm really happy to have invested in. You can't have ICOs all the time. It's ridiculous, says BP. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. The world does not want infinite currency. The thing with a lot of these is that you're going to see a lot of these really company-specific things kind of popping up, and really a lot of tokens that are institutional to certain networks. So, NoKajork, oh, thank you very much for the contribution, NoKajork. Really appreciate it. I'm waiting for Cardano to pull back too, but afraid it has left the station. Oh, I hope it hasn't left the station. Just one more pullback, Cardano. Just one more pullback. It's all we want. Just one more. One more. Look, it's super heated at the moment. Obviously, like I said, Cardano in a year, I'm seeing $30 billion project. Seriously, I would be surprised if it wasn't. So, Marvin Taylor, I just bought a Ledger Nano S. Where do you store your Cardano? Cardano has to be stored in the Daedalus wallet. It's not yet hardware wallet compatible, which is unfortunate. So, if you come back and the other tokens like Power Ledger, you can store those on My Ether wallet, which you can access through your Ledger Nano S. It's an ERC-20 token, so it's an Ethereum-based token. I've done a video on how to do that, so go look up Lark Ledger Nano S and you'll find that. Somebody asked, Lark, what is your favorite pizza? Maple syrup stacker. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with probably 4 cheese, actually. 4 cheese. I'm working on getting my 4 cheeses together, the vegan versions of course. It's been a bit tricky. I haven't had a 4 cheese pizza in a while. CryptoLark, it has to be said, most ICOs don't actually have a real world use, and even good ideas don't necessarily need to be on the blockchain. That's true. Some of them are certainly like that. You have to watch out for them. Of course it's 4 cheese. Oh. Robert Harrison, what are the red flags to look for when investing in an ICO? That's a good question. That's the last one we'll answer for the day. So, red flags to look for when investing in an ICO. Look, and the one thing you have to realize too is that even the best ICOs, with the best teams and the best tech and the best people, can still not deliver. It's business, guys. Some of these things fail. That's why the returns are so big, because you actually get kind of rewarded for investing in projects that might succeed, and some of them fail, and that does not mean they were scams. But you really have to check the teams. Very important. The team is probably one of the biggest things that'll pull people through. that pull a project through. So you really have to be keeping an eye. Who are the people involved? What have they done before? What kind of partnerships have they got? Are other blockchain projects supporting them? You look at like Request Network. You know, they have a partnership with Aragon, with Civic, with OX Protocol. Awesome. Bloom, they've got some really good partnerships as well. They've already got a partnership with ETHLend and with EverX and with some real world companies as well. So that's one thing to be looking for. Another thing to be looking for, really looking at what people are saying on social media about them. Try to find the criticisms. That's important. Understand, what are the criticisms against this project? What are people saying about it? Try to find, do they have a working product yet? That's an interesting one as well. So some of these, basically the most successful ICOs in general have been ones that already have a working project. White paper ICOs are really shots in the dark. Some of them have been really good. Some of them have not been good. So try to, you know, contact these people as well. That's always something too. Are they open? Have they had an AMA, that is an Ask Me Anything session? And have they actually let people ask them anything? Next is the way, guys. Hugh and Boss, thank you very much for the contribution. Love your stuff, Larky. Thank you. So all things to think about, that and more, you know. How much are they trying to raise, for example? Do they really need $100 million? Great question. Sometimes they do. Not really, but sometimes it's justified, I could say. They don't necessarily need it, but it's justified. I understand why they want that much money. Helps them really jumpstart their project in a way. But a lot of teams can't handle that much money. Do they have actually experience in handling $100 million? That's a pretty serious amount of money. Another really big thing to watch out for too is how big are the bonuses. I tend to like ones more with low bonus incentives, because if people who got into the pre-sale had a 100% bonus or a 200% bonus or 500% bonus or 1,000% bonus like HDAC had, come on, that's going to create some sell pressure. You know it is. You know it's going to create sell pressure. And so what you're going to have? You're going to have typical ICO fever BS. ICO hits the markets, hits the exchanges, and all of a sudden people are selling it for way less than they bought it for. That's one thing, for example, I like about like Bloom. No discounts. No one's going to be selling it for less on the exchanges, because you'd be stupid to. Why would you sell it for less than you bought it for? It'd be crazy. So some of the most successful ones over time have had all these things in common. They've had a working product, a really good team, a fairly low raise, and a low bonus structure. So those are all things to watch out for. And that is not a definitive list. That's just some of the things you keep an eye out for. A lot of people have been saying really good things about Decred here. Decred is a really solid project. I've done a review on Decred. I talked to a Decred, one of the core guys recently. They, of course, they got their ASIC miner, which has come out. Now it's not officially a Decred product. Someone else has developed it, but yeah. Crypto Numbnuts should be rocking a wrench. He'll get a wrench next time. Welcome to the chat, though, Crypto Numbnuts. We're just finishing up, though, guys. It has been a lot of fun, as always. Guys, you know, thank you so much to everyone, you know, in the comment section, helping each other out, spreading really, really positive information. Thanks to the moderators for helping keep it all clean in there. Thank you guys for asking really, really cool questions, for helping to spread that knowledge, for being curious. That is one of the biggest things in the crypto space, guys. You got to be curious. You got to ask questions. You got to come in here and think, what is going on in this crazy, crazy crypto space that we all like to call home? Thank you so, so much, guys. Love the community. Long live the blockchain. And peace out till next time, guys.